Welcome, seekers of the unseen, to a journey beyond the ordinary. Some believe the fabric of time is linear, yet whispers of destiny tell a different tale. February, the shortest month, carries the longest shadows of significance. The patterns of the divine are written in time, but only the chosen have the eyes to read them. If you've ever felt that February holds a weight heavier than its fleeting days, you are not alone. This is no coincidence. It is a calling. Today, we unravel the mysteries of why this month may be stamped upon your spiritual DNA. But before we step through the veil, ensure you are part of this unfolding revelation by subscribing to the channel. Let's embark on this path together. Long ago, the very structure of time was different. Before our modern calendar took form, February was considered the final month of the year in ancient Roman systems. The spiritual significance of this arrangement cannot be ignored. In biblical numerology, the number 10 represents divine order, testimony, and completion. It signifies a fullness that marks the end of one thing and the beginning of another. When the calendar was rearranged, shifting February away from its position as the 10th month, it was not merely a human decision. It was part of a hidden divine realignment. Many chosen ones feel an inexplicable shift in February, almost as if time itself is folding in a peculiar way. This is no random occurrence. The very placement of February carries an ancient weight, a spiritual code embedded within history. It is a time when divine cycles attempt to close, yet in the natural world, things feel incomplete. The calendar is imperfect, but the divine rhythms remain. Look deeper into the biblical significance of shortened or altered time, and you'll see a recurring theme. God often moves powerfully in moments that appear to be cut off or unfinished. The Israelites wandered for 40 years when their journey should have been much shorter. Jesus' ministry lasted only 3 years, yet it changed eternity. February's shortened days serve as a reminder that divine power is not measured in length, but in intensity. For those who feel spiritually attuned, February brings a sense of urgency. It's as if the clock ticks differently, pressing chosen individuals towards something unseen yet imminent. The lost days of February, the fact that it holds fewer days than any other month, mirror a divine principle. Sometimes, what seems diminished in the natural holds the greatest power in the supernatural. Throughout history, February has been a time of purification, both in the spiritual and physical sense. In the ancient Jewish tradition, purification rites often took place before stepping into something new. The Bible speaks of seasons of testing before promotion, wilderness experiences before promised lands, fire before gold emerges purified. February carries this same refining energy. Many chosen ones find themselves facing unexpected trials in this month. Relationships shift, old wounds resurface, and spiritual battles seem to intensify. This is not a sign of failure, but of preparation. Just as gold must pass through fire to be purified, those marked by God are refined before stepping into their next season. The struggles of February are not random, they are targeted. There is a reason why so many biblical figures experience deep spiritual tests before their greatest breakthroughs. Moses spent years in the wilderness before leading his people. David was anointed long before he was crowned. Even Jesus endured fasting and temptation in isolation before beginning his ministry. February often serves as a personal wilderness, a moment of internal reckoning before divine doors open. For those who feel particularly burdened in February, consider this. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. The chosen are always tested before elevation, and February has historically been a month of such testing. It is a time to lean in, to seek deeper understanding, and to recognize that what feels like resistance is often divine refinement. The purification process is not easy, but it is necessary. It clears the spiritual clutter, removing anything that cannot go forward into the next season. Many chosen ones find that February forces them to confront fears, let go of old habits, and embrace a new level of faith. This is the month where deep, unseen work takes place. A month where the foundation for future blessings is quietly laid. If February has felt like a struggle for you, know that you are not alone. You are walking in the footsteps of those who have been prepared before you. This is your proving ground. Stand firm and watch as what was once difficult transforms into the doorway to something greater. Throughout history, February has been recognized as a time of heightened spiritual awareness. Those who are sensitive to the unseen often experience an inexplicable shift in their perception during this month. Dreams become more vivid, visions sharpen, and divine revelations seem to come unbidden. This is no accident. February is a window where the divine speaks louder to those who are willing to listen. Many chosen ones report an increase in prophetic dreams or an unusual sense of clarity during February. This is because the spiritual realm operates in cycles, and February is one of those times when the barrier between the natural and the supernatural seems thinner. In biblical history, God often used specific time frames to reveal his plans. The prophets received visions in appointed seasons, and moments of great spiritual significance often coincided with distinct periods of the year. February appears to be one such period, a time when messages from the divine flow more freely. But why? One possible explanation lies in the idea of spiritual recalibration. Just as the earth experiences shifts in seasons, so too does the spiritual realm. February, being a transitional month, acts as a bridge between what was and what is to come. For the chosen, this means an increased sensitivity to messages meant to guide them into the next phase of their journey. If you find yourself experiencing déjà vu, heightened intuition, or moments of deep spiritual insight in February, pay attention. These are not coincidences, but signposts. The divine often speaks in whispers, and February is a month where those whispers become clearer. Keeping a journal of dreams, thoughts, and impressions during this time can reveal patterns that may not be obvious at first glance. This increased spiritual activity is also why many chosen ones feel a sense of unease or even spiritual warfare in February. When divine messages are being released, opposition is inevitable. The enemy seeks to confuse, distract, or distort what is being revealed. This is why clarity in February can sometimes be accompanied by confusion. It is a battleground between revelation and deception. If February feels like a month of spiritual intensity for you, lean into it. Take time for reflection, prayer, and seeking divine wisdom. There is something being spoken in this month that you are meant to hear. Do not let the noise of the world drown out what is being whispered to your spirit. The sense of heaviness that many chosen ones feel in February is not imaginary. There is a deep, almost inexplicable weight that seems to settle over this month, and it is not merely seasonal or psychological, it is spiritual. February has historically been a month of battles, both seen and unseen. If you look back through history, you will find that many conflicts, uprisings, and pivotal moments in time have occurred during this period. This is no coincidence. The chosen ones often experience heightened struggles in February because it is a month of spiritual warfare. The transition that February represents is not just about personal growth. It is about shifting territories in the supernatural realm. Whenever there is a shift, there is resistance. Whenever there is movement toward divine purpose, there is an attempt to hinder it. For many, February feels like an uphill battle. Unexpected challenges arise, emotions seem heavier, and spiritual attacks intensify. This is not because you are weak, but because you are on the verge of something significant. The enemy does not waste energy on those who are not a threat. If February feels particularly difficult for you, take it as confirmation that you are stepping into a new level of spiritual authority. Understanding the weight of February requires recognizing that battles are often fought before breakthroughs. In the Bible, Joshua had to face numerous battles before entering the Promised Land. Jesus faced 40 days of temptation before launching his ministry. Even in modern times, those called to significant purpose often experience a season of deep struggle before their greatest moments. February carries the same principle. It is a proving ground. Those who endure the battles of February with faith and perseverance often find that March brings unexpected breakthroughs. This is not a coincidence, it is a spiritual pattern. The chosen ones are refined through struggle, and February is often the month where that refinement reaches its peak. If you are experiencing unusual resistance this month, do not be discouraged. Stand firm in your faith. Recognize the tactics being used against you and refuse to retreat. Battles are not fought over things that do not matter. If you are being fought, it is because what is on the other side is worth the struggle. Stay tuned for the next part, where we explore how February's compressed time holds a hidden divine acceleration and why this month acts as a crossroads for the chosen. The month of February holds an unusual place in time. Unlike any other month, it is deliberately shortened, yet within its brevity lies profound significance. In divine patterns, God often moves in ways that seem counterintuitive to human logic. The smallest mustard seed grows into the largest tree. The least expected individuals are chosen for the greatest missions. The shortest month, in this case, carries the heaviest spiritual weight. For those who are attuned to the supernatural, February often feels compressed, almost as if time moves faster or more intensely than in other months. This is not just a perception, it is a reflection of a deeper spiritual principle. In the Bible, we see numerous examples of divine acceleration, where God condenses time, fast-tracks destinies, and brings about rapid shifts that defy natural progression. One of the most striking examples of divine acceleration is found in the story of Joseph. He spent years in obscurity, imprisoned and forgotten. But when God's appointed time came, he was elevated from prison to palace in a single day. The waiting season was long, but the breakthrough was instant. February holds the same energy, a sense of compressed time where things that have been delayed suddenly move forward. Many chosen ones experience unexpected shifts in February. Doors that seemed shut begin to open. Revelations that were hidden suddenly become clear. And what felt like a season of waiting turns into a season of movement. This is because February carries a divine acceleration, one that often goes unnoticed by those not paying attention. But acceleration is not always comfortable. When God moves quickly, there is often an initial sense of chaos. Plans change, routines are disrupted, and what once felt stable may suddenly feel uncertain. This is part of the process. Divine acceleration requires faith. Faith to move forward even when the path ahead is unclear. If you have felt an unusual urgency in February, whether in your spirit, your circumstances, or your personal growth, it is a sign that acceleration is at work. Do not resist it. Lean into it. Trust the process, and understand that what is happening now is setting the stage for what is to come. February, being the second month, holds a unique symbolism tied to the number 2. In biblical numerology, 2 represents duality, light and darkness, unity and division, choices and consequences. It is a number that signifies decision points, crossroads, and the need for discernment. For many chosen ones, February often presents a moment of choice. There is a sense of standing at a threshold, where one direction leads forward into divine purpose, and the other leads backward into old patterns. This is no accident. February is a testing ground, a month where decisions carry greater weight than they seem to on the surface. The chosen ones often find themselves wrestling with significant decisions in February, whether regarding relationships, callings, or personal growth. This is because February acts as a transition point in the spiritual realm. It is a time where alignment is tested and where destinies can be altered based on choices made in this window. Looking at biblical history, we see many examples of pivotal moments occurring in transitional seasons. Abraham was called to leave his homeland and step into the unknown. Moses had to choose between remaining in Pharaoh's palace or embracing his true identity. Jesus had to decide when to begin his ministry, knowing it would lead to the cross. These were not ordinary decisions. They were defining moments that altered history. February carries that same energy. It is a month where seemingly small choices can have lasting impact. This is why many chosen ones feel a heightened sense of internal conflict during this month. The weight of decision-making is stronger, and the stakes feel higher. This is not imagined. It is spiritual reality. If you find yourself facing major decisions in February, approach them with prayer and discernment. Do not rush, but do not hesitate out of fear. This is a month of clarity, where God often provides direction for those who are willing to listen. The path forward may not be easy, but it will be aligned with purpose. The crossroads of February are not meant to be feared. They are opportunities, chances to step into alignment with divine timing and purpose. Those who recognize the significance of this month and choose wisely will find themselves positioned for what comes next. Every 4 years, February disrupts its own pattern. A single day is added, shifting the fabric of time itself. This extra day is no random quirk of the calendar. It is a divine disruption, a hidden key within time. Leap years carry an unusual energy, marking moments where destinies are shifted and unexpected events unfold. For those who are spiritually attuned, leap years feel different. There is a sense of time expanding, of something being added that was previously withheld. This is because leap years symbolize divine interruptions, moments when God steps in and rearranges circumstances in ways that defy human logic. Throughout history, many chosen ones have been born on February 29th, a date that exists only once every 4 years. These individuals often carry unusual destinies, marked by a sense of displacement, yet chosen for unique purposes. Their lives serve as reminders that time itself bends to the will of the divine. But leap years are not just about those born on this date. They represent windows of opportunity, moments when what was delayed is suddenly released, when what was incomplete is brought to fulfillment. For the chosen ones, leap years often bring unexpected shifts, divine appointments, and breakthroughs that could not have occurred in the normal flow of time. If you are experiencing significant changes in a leap year, understand that this is not a coincidence. It is a sign that God is adding something to your journey, something that was meant to be there all along, but was waiting for the right moment to be revealed. Leap years remind us that time is not rigid. It is fluid, guided by divine hands. The chosen ones often find themselves feeling isolated in February, as if an invisible force is pulling them into solitude. This is not without purpose. February is a month of preparation, a time when those who are marked for something greater are called into a deeper level of refinement. Many experience a shift in relationships during this month. Friendships change, people drift away, and moments of solitude become more frequent. This is because February is a time of separation, a moment when those who are being prepared for the next season are set apart. This isolation is not punishment, it is positioning. Throughout the Bible, those chosen for great purposes were often pulled into solitude before their moment of elevation. Moses spent years in the wilderness before leading his people. Elijah was hidden away before his prophetic mission. Even Jesus withdrew into the desert before stepping fully into his calling. February carries this same principle. It is a month where those who are being prepared are set apart. For many, this solitude feels uncomfortable. It can bring feelings of loneliness, uncertainty, or even frustration. But those who understand its purpose recognize that isolation is often the final stage before acceleration. February is a time of internal work, a moment when clarity is gained, distractions are removed, and the next steps become clear. If you are feeling isolated in February, do not resist it. Use this time to seek deeper understanding, to reflect, and to prepare for what comes next. This is not a season of abandonment. It is a season of refinement. Those who embrace it will emerge stronger, more focused, and ready for the doors that are about to open. February is not just another page on the calendar. It is a coded message, a divine whisper, a call to the chosen. If you have felt its weight, its stirring, its unexplainable pull, then know this: you are not here by accident. The shortest month carries the longest shadows of significance. It is a time of transition, purification, acceleration, and decision. It is a month where the unseen becomes visible, and where those who are attuned to the supernatural can perceive the shifts taking place. Destiny does not wait for permission. It moves with those who recognize its voice. Do not let this February pass as just another month. Press in, seek, discern, and above all, walk boldly in your calling. Until we meet again on this path of revelation, stay watchful, stay steadfast, and stay chosen.